Mr. George saw that as a problem. So we all know Mr. George. 1979, he wrote a $200,000 check to the United Way of Central Florida, handed it to those 3 United Ways and said, you need to figure this out. So in 1980, we welcomed the United Way of Central Florida, covering all of Polk County. Since then, the United Way of Central Florida also covers Polk, Hardin, and Highlands County, the 3-county area. You know, we're very excited about the dollars we raised here. And last year we set a record-setting campaign of $9.37 million for this local area. This year our goal is a little more aggressive. We want to hit that 9.5 in the campaign, but we also want to increase dollars outside of the campaign. Because it's not just about getting a big bag of money at the campaign and going, hurrah. What are we doing with those dollars? Those dollars are invested right here in the local community. And sometimes we get grants, sometimes we get other dollars. Hopefully everyone in here has heard about the community school at Crystal Lake that we're proud to be a partner of. That community school there will be bringing different organizations and entities to that school, not just to help the student, but to help those families. The United Way was able to help secure $300,000 in grants to help get that project off the ground. So we're very excited about bringing those dollars together. But let me go back to what we're doing with those dollars. You know, I don't decide where those dollars go. Don doesn't decide where those dollars go. We have more than 120 volunteers every year that some of you who stood up, you know, are involved in that process called our CIP process, our community impact process. We look at applications every year. Citizens, retired school teachers, people who work for Publix, people who work for a bank, work for an investment firm. Representatives of our entire community sit and decide what programs and services those dollars are invested in. And I did say programs and services because that's a change that United Way has made over the years. When I said back in 1887, when they made that first community chest where they raised dollars and gave it to charities, that model worked for a good 70, 80 years. In the 80s, in the early 90s, people started saying, you know, we're funding these same nonprofits and these same charities, but the portion of their budget coming from United Way is getting smaller and smaller, and our donors are asking where those dollars are going. So we said, you know what? Just like a bank, we want to make sure if we invest those dollars in the community, we're seeing a return. A process called the community impact process was created, where we just don't give the money to a nonprofit agency or to an organization, and the ones who are in here can absolutely nod their head that we just don't give it to them. They have to go through a process. We look at those programs and services. Those volunteers who are looking at those applications, they see the inputs, the outputs, the outcomes, the indicators that are used, and ultimately what impact is that program or service having on our community. That community impact model was instilled here a little more than 10 years ago, and has thrived. Currently, we're investing in over 105 programs through 53 partner agencies throughout Polk, Hardin, and Highlands County. Those programs are focused on education, making sure kids are ready for school, making sure kids are graduating from school. On health, making sure that people have a healthy lifestyle, can get the prescriptions they need, and to make sure that they don't do an emergency hospital visit when if they had some basic healthcare needs met, that would save that whole hospital visit and all the trauma that comes with that. Financial stability. Could be job training, could be teaching someone as simple as how to fill out a checkbook. Meaning just because you have checks left doesn't mean you can keep writing, you have to actually balance that checkbook. You know, but these are the 3 building blocks: income, education, and health. If we can have a positive impact in our community on those 3 areas, you're going to change lives. You're going to move that entire community forward. You know, a couple of years ago, with Don at the helm, we decided we're going to do our strategic plan. Vision 2020, I think every strategic plan that ends in 2020 is a Vision 2020. And we said we want to identify those areas. We want to look at that. And in here, you know, we talked about those impact processes, but we actually changed our mission. For a nonprofit to change the mission, that's a big deal. Missions are filed with the IRS, the state, they're in your bylaws. Our mission is very simple: to improve lives and strengthen the community. That is our entire mission as an organization. How do we do that? Part of it is raising funds so we can invest back in the community. Part of it is getting volunteers to help with those nonprofit organizations where the other part is talking about the programs and services, about the agencies that you may drive by every day and you don't know what goes on those 4 walls. So that's give, volunteer, and advocate. Hopefully some of you have seen our t-shirts or our motto, Live United. That's what Live United means: to give, volunteer, and advocate. we're all Rotarians. That's what we do. You know, we care for our community. We help those who need help. We want to improve the lives and strengthen our local community. That's our mission. That's what we work to fulfill. You know, I have two things on your table I want to talk about. One is a little book. It has some stories. Don't look at it now. You can look at it when you leave. The other is there's some wonderful programs and services out there. How can you find out about it? Let's say it's the 20th of the month. You have 4 kids and no food. Where do you go? Or you're renting and you just found out it's the 28th of the month. You don't have rent money and it's due in 2 days. What do? You know, you're going to be evicted, you're going to get the lights turned off, you're in an abusive relationship, you know someone who has an addiction problem, you know someone who has serious needs and they need to find help. Where do you turn the yellow pages? Because you're in a crisis mode, you don't know where to turn to. When 20 years ago, Atlanta started a wonderful program with 211. And shortly after that, Congress gave the phone number 211 to the United Way and the AIRS Information System Department. 211 is a health and human service referral hotline. Covers 95% of the continental United States. We, United Way Central Florida, are responsible for Polk Party, Highlands County. That's what this card is that you have in front of you. This is for when life happens. I'm going to call up and they're going to say, "Hi, how can I help you?" "Well, my name's Alan. I need food." Go back there and say, "Wait, Alan, what's your zip code?" 33813. Because if I'm in South Lakeland, they're not going to send me to Bartow to get food. They're not going to send me, you know, to Frostproof. We want to find something within a couple miles where you live to get the help you need. This is great when life happens. Last year when Irma happens, this lit up. This isn't just for when life happens, this is when disaster happens. Everyone assumed every school was a shelter. Not every school opened up as a shelter, and not every shelter opened up immediately. People needed to know where those shelters were. They called 211, they had that accessibility. Where can I bring my pet? Well, there were only 2 or 3 shelters that had pets. Where can I go if I'm bedridden and I need to get name guns? We got them there. More importantly, when the storm passed, is when we helped people. They came home with a tree through the roof. Or they realized where they were going to work shut down for 2 or 3 weeks and they were living paycheck to paycheck. Or when they realized, you know, they did a great job getting the power back on, but it took a few days to get the power on. And all the food in the refrigerator went bad. They don't have the money to replace that. They were able to get help from 211. We were able to get them the resources they needed to rebuild their life, to get it back on track. Because one little thing get life off track. Hopefully some of you heard about the new partnership United Way has with Polk State College, where it's an extension of 211. We have a 211 specialist on campus, 2 days in Lakeland, 2 days in Winter Haven, called Destination Graduation. The #1 reason kids drop out of Polk State is financial issue happen. Life happens. Got a flat tire. It's $250, $300 to fix, and they're having a tire. They're going to have to drop out of school because they got to go get a job to fix their car just to live. Or they got sick and they missed a week of work, and now they got to make that up and they're not concentrating on school. We have someone right there on campus that can either connect them with the local resource, or through the generous donor, we have a grant that will be able to financially assist them right there. This program is to keep them in college, to get them to graduate, so that one degree of separation doesn't sidetrack their entire life. They get to stay in, pass that class, graduate, get a job, paying more than they would have if they would have dropped out. Helping keep that life together and going. That's what United Way is about. Improving those lives and moving them forward. Like I said, with Irma, we were involved with a lot of things. We were going around talking with the cities and municipalities when we were in the emergency operations center. And the next day we were out and about and going through all those areas. We had another storm last week. Florence hit the Carolinas. Those coastlines, they're flooded. The United Way of Coastal Carolinas, New Bern, they have 3 feet of water in their office. They're not there. This morning, before I came in, we're talking with some associates, we're working with Publix, trying to connect them to resources that are available. We're a United Way network. We are a network, we work together. But as I said, we're locally governed. This United Way is locally governed by citizens here in Polk Party, Highlands County. We have our own 501c3, but we are part of a network where we help each other. There's 1,100 United Ways in the United States, 1,800 worldwide. Last year, the United Way network raised just under $5 billion in 41 countries. And once again, it's not about the dollars. Think of the lives that those dollars invested back in the community changed. those lives now have a chance to succeed, where one hiccup, one $150 bill to keep the lights on, one grocery trip to Publix changed their life. Something we take for granted. We can hop in our car, go get a couple bags of groceries. Yeah, we can keep our lights on. We can do that. We wake up on our own bed every day. You know, we take this stuff for granted. There's a lot of people who don't, and they cherish it every day. And because of one hiccup, they can lose that. We want to make sure we got it. You know, I did leave them at your table. Hopefully, everyone here is running a United Way Workplace campaign. And if you're not, I'll be happy to talk to you afterwards. No, I got that. And if you're not working and you're retired, we'd love to talk to you too and share with you some things we have going on. There is so much that we can do for this community. And many of you have heard the starfish story. And you walk on a beach, and all these starfish are there, and a little boy goes up, picks up a starfish, and throws it back in the water. And then Paul walks up to him and said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm saving the starfish." And the parent looks around and sees all these starfish. "So you can't save all of them." He goes, "You know, I can. I can save that one. I can save that one. I can save that one." You know what? We might not be able to save everyone and improve everyone's lives. But we can save that one, and that one with your help. So I want to thank you for all you do for our community. Thank you for your continued support of United Way. And I was told to leave a couple of minutes for questions. So if anyone has any questions about United Way. Yes, sir.
Until I joined the board, I did appreciate the full extent of Publix.
Yes. Well, we love Publix here. And obviously, Publix is the largest contributor to our campaign. 50% of our local campaign comes from Publix. What you may not know is they're the largest contributor to United Ways in the entire state of Florida. What you may not know is they are the third largest financial contributor to United Way in the world. The world. Yep. Last year, between Publix Associates and Publix Charities, they donated more than $62 million to the United Way network. That's bigger than AT&T, Microsoft, Exxon Mobil, all these. There's only two companies larger. You have UPS and then Wells Fargo, who are in multiple countries, thousands more employees. This regional grocery store that we talk about when we go to the United Way Worldwide Conferences, they say, "Who's Publix?" Is now in 7 states, used to be just 6 states. 7-state grocery store is the third largest supporter of United Way. Not only do they give their money, they give their talents and their time. Many of our community investment teams are from Publix. Many of you know Greta Dupuy. She's our chair-elect on the United Way board. We do a project. You see Publix out in force. We do a day of care, and any nonprofit organization that's in here will tell you how supportive Publix is to their community. We're very thankful for their continued support of not just United Way, but so many of the other organizations that they support. Any other questions? It's amazing. The internet keeps stuff alive for so long. And when I have one-on-one conversations with people, they say, "Oh, I looked this up about United Way. Is this true? Is this true?" No, the dollars we raise, and I really want everyone to hear this so you can pass it on, stays here. You know, some people say, "Oh, well, all your dollars get sent up to Alexandria, Virginia, United Way Worldwide." No, we are an independent organization. We file our own taxes, our own 990s. Our last 3 audits and the last 3 990s are on our website. Those dollars stay here. They're invested here. I haven't calculated for the previous years, but when I first got here, we calculated the dollars that came in. For every dollar that came in for the campaign, think about that, every dollar that came in for campaign, we put the equivalent of $1.72 back out in the community because of matching grants, because of other grants we were able to receive. So when you start looking for an investment, when you can give an organization $1 and they end up putting $1.72 back in the community, that sounds like a good appreciation on that investment. All right. Well, super. Well, thank you very much.
Before we move on, I want to follow up on just one thing he says, and I also want to follow up because Ms. Gay Ratcliffe is here today. I'd like Gay and Roxanne and Larry Stahl to stand up for just a second. And what I'm asking you, Gay, I'm going to speak about one agency that's supported by the United Way, and that's the Central Florida Speech and Hearing Clinic. I spent 9 years on the board back then some time ago. Gay, how long were you there?
I was there for 38 years.
So He was there for 38 years. Larry Stahl, how long were you there? 12. And Roxanne, Gay, Larry, and I were on a committee with some others to help hire the new person, and that's Roxanne. Roxanne, how long have you been here?
5 years.
5 years. All right, you can sit down now. So Central Florida Speech and Hearing Center is just one of the many agencies that we have in Polk County. It's being supported by the United Way. And those of us that have been board members, we sat in meetings with these guys and talked about what the needs were and how we could get that support. I'd also like to point out that one particular charity there is one that George Jenkins used for therapy. In fact, I think Gay was involved in some of his therapy. And my mother, Jeanette Childsworth, had her stroke. So these are places, you sit back and think you can't be touched by one of these. You can be touched. Your family can be touched. And these things are not just for other people, but not for you. They're for the whole community. So I really do appreciate what you guys are doing. I appreciate all of you who serve on boards and get involved in these communities. It helps make Lakeland, helps make Polk County a much better place. So again, thank you, Ellen, very much. Appreciate it.